Week 4 evaluation vlog. So this week was actually quite very productive today. This week. So on Monday we started off with just doing our normal computer session where we would just fill in our next column of the action plans and topping off on our research. Because for me, I needed to add a lot more. I had to talk about adding more themes into my research because it was very minimal. It was just quite stick to skinheads, neo-Nazi, and that was it. So I need to make sure that I had a variety of resources if I want to get the grade I want to get. So I started, researching certain facts about the bullyings and stuff like that. Researching facts on bullying, drugs, so like Valium and ecstasy, sort of linking to scene like 15. And yeah, so I was looking upon quite a lot of research, so it was quite productive for that session because I was able to, apply these, and all of these would actually help me for my, for the rehearsal process for when we actually get to the point of blocking those scenes, because, I was like Valium, so I learned how the person feels, what kind of mindset they're in, the stages people go through and all that kind of stuff. So, knowing that now, when it comes to it and I have to reenact it, I can reenact it and it'll be believable, it'll have that believability to it, and, again, implying the magic gift into it, just allows me to really, essentially to really put it out there. And stuff. So, it just makes, from like an audience perspective, it just makes it look like, whoa, these kids really on drugs and stuff like that, and showing them the severity of drugs and how easy it is to get influenced into it and all that stuff. So so Monday was very productive in that aspect. Tuesday, so we continue working on section 5 of the script, mainly just factoring all the people that were missing and factoring myself into it now as well. So I managed to slot myself in through section 5 and slightly of section 4. Because, in one of my researches, I showed a video of it's a short film of this girl getting bullied, and she has basically the entire school with her. They back her up, and they bully the other, they bully the girl with her, like with them and all that stuff. And yeah, so it was quite interesting because it's exactly how it is in the play. We have the head bully, but then everyone just follows and just does stuff. So what we decided that I would come in and I'll just walk in a bit late, like a bad student would do, walk into class late, and I'm just sitting there and I'm just watching. I don't do any of the actions or anything. I just sit there and watch. Because it just shows that authority that I have, that everyone asks for my approval and everything like that. And as well as the sense of just having that, again, it's just having that sense of power and everything like that. And, and that's something that ended up being quite effective because obviously, originally that was one of the problems. The problem is that how are we going to incorporate myself into this, because I am the bully. I kind of have to be there, whilst James is getting bullied, essentially, do you know what I mean? So, but coming up with that idea sort of solve that problem, and it kind of just made it. It came out more effective than I expected because there'll be a point where everyone leaves and I'm still on stage, and then me and Dom just have this eye contact. My character and James have this eye contact to show, and I sort of snigger off and I give a little shrug of like, huh, and then just walk off, and then it goes to just Dom being by himself, because then we decided that for section 6 we would have just James by himself, because he's just talking to people and he's just there by himself and he's just expressing how he feels and everything. So we kind of left it as that. So it kind of has that tension there of mine and his eye contact, and then he's all alone. And it just brings that sympathy feeling for him. Like the audience, they start feeling sympathetic and everything, because he never has anyone. He's always by himself. His mum is basically clueless about what's going on. It's not the fact that she doesn't care. It's just the fact that because he's so closed and just doesn't want to open up about anything, his mum doesn't have an idea of what's going on with him. It's quite serious, it's quite sad as well. So, from an audience perspective, they're going to start feeling sympathetic for him, essentially. But Wednesday we continued on with our computer work, so like research and stuff. Friday we did a little bit more computer work, but then we did sort of like a slight run through. So we just worked on from scene 1 all the way to scene 6, sort of running that and fixing up any bits that we need to fix up and all of the stuff. But as an individual, I feel like I didn't really contribute too much, purely just because for section 4-5 it was already set, so the person who kind of took charge on that scene just kind of managed to find a way to slot me in, and it's very, very effective. I still think it's very, very effective. So I couldn't really argue. Like, I could say some ideas, but for me personally, I was quite happy with the idea that they came up with, so I was quite comfortable with that. It was the same for 5 as well. 6 was something that I contributed, so like, just have him just sitting there by himself, alone. For me, I just wanted to have that moment where the audience can actually just sit there and listen to him and just feel that sympathy. And it works well. It really works well, especially when Dom really gets into his character and stuff. When he gets really into his character, it will look even more effective, and it'll be quite good. But as a group, as a group, it was productive. It was smooth. Everyone sort of just worked with each other, like, just got on with what we had to do, essentially, really. And majority of the ideas were already set and stoned, really, for the other scenes. But whenever someone came up with an idea, everyone would still listen and take it in, whether they either say yes or no, whether it works or not. It came to the moment, but everyone still was able to sort of contribute ideas and just apply it on to the performance, really, which was quite cool. Because it just kept it. I don't know. It had a fresh feeling to it, and everything. So yeah. But yeah. So the only problem that we did really face is what I said before, was trying to slot me in for scenes 5 and 6, and the transitions. The transitions are very all over the shop right now, because we've just been rehearsing the scene, but not rehearsing on how we're gonna get from one scene into the next scene. So that became a sad problem. But we managed. What we decided to do was to focus on blocking all scenes, because then after that we can after that we can work on the transitions, because I think with transitions, especially by the way and the style that we've got going on, it'll be quite easy just to slot them in and sort them out. So yeah, so that's another thing. Me myself, as my practical skills. Like, for me, it was identifying and acknowledging a person's relationship. So when I say relationship, I mean any type of relationship, whether it's bully and victim, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, brothers, sisters, best friends, mom, dads, mother and son, mother and daughter, whatever. It could be any sort of type of relationship. But for me, getting applied into scene 4 and 5, it just showed me and it gave me understanding, and then I was able to really really think about it and put it out there, and show my relationship between me and James and me and the classmates. Because there's a section where I would walk in and then I would have one of the classmates, I'll say something to them and then they try to stand up to me, but I sort of intimidate them so they end up sitting back down. So, it's showing that my relationship is just dominance. It's just complete straight dominance over everyone, over the class, over the over James and everyone. So that no one dares to do anything towards me, and it's quite cool to see that at first, purely because how later on in the play James attacks the bully. So it completely contrasts against each other. But for me, that was one of my practical skills that I was able to really work on that during this week, really, because knowing the relationship between person A and person B, it reacts to it. It reacts and it causes you to talk a certain way, move a certain way, do things that you probably wouldn't do if it was someone else. It's all of these things. It's the fact that with this knowledge of different type of relationships and what these kind of relationships causes other people to do, it does intrigue me a lot. Really, really does. But it's just mainly the fact that knowing the relationship can make you act in one. It can make you act in a certain way. So that's something I want to really look upon and go back to my research and trying to see those slight little things and find ways how I can apply it. And I have already found a little bit of ways. So for example, like the eye contact that I do, the confrontation between me and some other guy. What else? The amount of fact that I'm just sitting there watching, and then everyone else is sort of looking back at me to sort of get my approval of what they're doing. So it's something that sort of shows that relationship that me and him have towards each other 10 times more. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit terrifying that a kid from that age, cause I think they were like 14 or 15 at the time, or something like that, I can't remember. But how they can have so much power over people, and it amazes me. So it's definitely something I want to touch upon more. But yeah. But going back throughout this week, we did about 3 computer sessions this week. So it actually allows me to really catch up with everything. So I'm actually now sticking to my action plan. So every action plan that I do for the week is actually being achieved. So it's good because it allows me to then, on my free time, work on my character and develop some more ideas and stuff, really. And so that's my week 4 evaluation vlog done.